Hey everybody, Brickette here showing how to get all 11 firefighter characters or fireman disguises in LEGO City Undercover. First I'll show you all the firefighter disguises or characters in the order on the grid. Then I'll show how to get each character token. Column 1 has 2 Chase McCains, one for each player. The third firefighter in the first column is Jade Crosby, Charlotte Hannon on the Wii U. Firefighter number 4 is Jessie Weingartner. In column 2, row 1 is Cornelius Burns, firefighter number 5. Firefighter number 6 is Ramon Lopez-Delgado. Firefighter number 7 is Buddy Weingartner. Firefighter number 8 is Ryan McLaughlin. In column 3, row 1 is firefighter number 9, Forest Fireman. Firefighter number 10 is Brad Hoggle. And the last firefighter, number 11, is Oliver Duffy. And then there's a space to create a custom firefighter character or disguise. You can hold the top button to switch disguises or hit either bumper button for fast switching. The timestamps of all the characters or disguises in this video are listed in the description in the order of this video. You can also find them this way. We get the first 2 firefighter disguises, a Chase McCain for each player, during the story in Special Assignment 9, Hot Property, in Festival Square in the LEGO City Fire Department.
First of all, we'd better get you looking like a fire officer, hadn't we, huh? There is a shiny new uniform in the middle garage. If you can get the door open.
I guess I just pull this lever? Yeah, that would have been too easy.
You can also get Jade Crosby, number 3, or Charlotte Hannon on the Wii U, and Ramon Lopez-Delgado in this level during the story.
Looks like someone forgot to finish. That garage door would look a lot better with a lick of paint.
We can get Ramon in that burning trash can right there.
Someone really ought to finish painting that garage door.
We can only aim at 3 at a time.
Well, don't you look as bright as a button?
To open the door for Jade Crosby, firefighter number 3, we need to go through a whole lot of stuff past that gate. When we get up here, after we blow up this thing in the corner, we can rescue our first cat. That will open up the door to get to Jade Crosby, Charlotte Hannon on the Wii U.
You saved him!
Jade and Charlotte both worked on this game. On the Wii U, Charlotte Hannon is credited under Special Thanks. In the 2017 remastered version, Jade Crosby worked on environmental art. Jade Crosby is a firefighter and costs 20,000 studs. In Special Assignment 9, Hot Property, in Festival Square in the Lego City Fire Department, we can get Ramon Lopez-Delgado, firefighter number 6, during the story or free play. When we're in this area, after we get the firefighter disguise, of course. Ramon Lopez-Delgado is a firefighter and costs 30,000 studs. The next firefighter, Jessie Weingartner, Column 1, Row 4, is in Bluebell National Park. There's a dynamite vending machine over here for the silver boulders up the hill. You can also get the Forest Man, Special 1, on the way if you build the super build. If you're low on studs, you might want to get away from this explosion. I didn't want to get blown up again. You need a police disguise, or you can jetpack up here. There's a coffee break up there, but you'll need a construction worker for it. And there's a Rex Fury silver statue. You'll need dynamite for that. This is also how to get to the super build for the Forest Man, Special 1, which I'll show since it's on the way. Just barely made it. You have discovered a super build. The Bluebell tree costs 30,000 bricks. We need to switch to a police disguise to pull down a ladder. Wow, I went right through it. We need to put out 5 of these campfires for the Jessie Weingartner character token. The next one is right here, behind the police station.
Sorry, it's an emergency.
I press the left trigger to blow the whistle and stop the car. There are lots of blue studs around here. That's the second one. The third one is right there. I really like the look of this forest area. Check out the rat. There's the third campfire. Here's where the fourth campfire is. There's the fourth one. One more to go. It's to the left. It's over that rock behind him.
Yeah!
Jessie Weingartner is a firefighter and costs 10,000 studs. And that's the last cat to rescue. After we rescue all 17 cats, we get Cornelius Burns, firefighter number 5. There's a link to my video on this in the description, or you can search for all 17 cats rescued Brickette to find it. Cornelius Burns is a firefighter and costs 40,000 studs. Buddy Weingartner, firefighter number 7, is in Fort Meadows in the second cabin up the hill. We need the firefighter disguise for Buddy Weingartner. Buddy Weingartner is a firefighter and costs 10,000 studs. The Ryan McLaughlin character token is in Bright Lights Plaza. He's in column 2, row 4 on the grid. We need to find and build 5 water coolers for Ryan. Here's where we can get 1 of the 5 water coolers for Ryan McLaughlin. There's 1. There's another water cooler in here, around the corner from the ice cream machine. We blasted the door open before with some dynamite. There's 2.
I need to get back onto the case.
There's another one in here. We need a construction worker for this one. The reason Chase keeps saying that he needs to get back onto the case is because I had to go back to a really old save game to redo these water coolers.
Observatory. How on earth will they hide?
I wonder if
Here's the third one. I'm going over here for a green color swapper to get into the planetarium. There's a green color swapper in here for the 4th water cooler.
Police business.
There are 4 things to get in there, and we have to jetpack around the building to get in there. But we're really only interested in the 5th and last water cooler for this video.
I need to get back onto the case.
Now we can use that green paint to get into the planetarium for the fourth water cooler.
What was stolen from Forest Fireman?
To get the last water cooler for Ryan, we can climb up there and go all the way up and around, which I'll show you after I get up there with the jetpack. We can jetpack up there from here. And I might as well get some super bricks while I'm at it. There's a large super brick. We can get the clockwork robot on the way to getting Ryan. If you keep going to the left, you can get the last water cooler for Ryan McLaughlin. But first, I'll show you how to get up there without the jetpack, in case you're having trouble getting up there with the jetpack. This is another way to go to get up to that platform.
Oh dear, I shall be too late.
But you'll still need the jetpack to get all the way to the last water cooler. Here's where the clockwork robot was. Now I'll continue on for the magician and Ryan McLaughlin. Aim for the center of these circles so you don't fall.
I need to get back onto the case.
Here's another place where it's easy to fall. And here's the fifth water cooler for Ryan McLaughlin.
Yeah.
The token is at the north end of the mall. Here's a small super brick. And before you leave, if you haven't captured the alien yet, you might as well do that while you're in here.
Let's shake it.
Now we'll go get the token for Ryan McLaughlin from all those water coolers. Ryan McLaughlin is a firefighter and costs 10,000 studs. From what I could find online, he works for LEGO and was the LEGO Consumer Services Specialist at the LEGO Group when this game came out. And that's the last barbecue fire extinguished. So we get a character token for it. Forest Fireman. Firefighter number 9.
Another task finished off. You're on fire today, Chase.
There's a link to my video on this in the description, or you can search for all 17 barbecue fires Brickette to find it. Forest Fireman is a firefighter and costs 30,000 studs. The Brad Hoggle character token is in the Grand Canal. We can find a boat to get there at the pier in Fresco, or we can get there from Pagoda. We can get to the canal by going under this bridge. Head for that bridge. Now, of course, there are plenty of boats when I don't need them. I switched to this one with the tag button. It's a little too tall. Brad Hoggle is in the left tunnel. There are super bricks all along here, and a red brick and a coffee break up here. And there's a boulder on the other side. We're on the south side of the Grand Canal. Brad Hoggle is a firefighter and costs 10,000 studs. We need to fill 3 pools with water with the fire extinguisher to get the Oliver Duffy character token. We need the firefighter disguise to fill this pool. The fire extinguisher mechanic is pretty picky about where you stand and how you aim it. Guess I needed to get a little closer. Then I moved the reticle around a bit. Not quite. Finally! The second pool I'll go to is right around here. I remember having a hard time trying to put out fires in the story part of this game.
No way.
Yeah, I had to keep moving around for it to work. Sometimes tilting the camera up helps a little too. This time I needed to get farther away. I should have jumped up on that rock. Wow. The third pool is over there to the right. It's probably easier to get over there with the jetpack, but you don't need it. Here I'm standing right in it. Maybe that would have worked with the other two also.
Yeah!
The token is in the direction I'm looking. And it's right about here on the map. Oliver Duffy is a firefighter and costs 10,000 studs. Thanks to Blue Saturn 7095 Alt, Jack123 Stop On, and Collateral Beauty for requesting this video. And thanks to the following for requesting all characters by category: Sarah Becker Morero, Shauna Patterson, Name Ruse, CatGamer V2, MJ, TRB Luke, Brawl Stars, Marta Alexandra Vichute, and Eshan267. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button, which I really appreciate, and subscribe to see when I upload new videos. And I'll see you next time.